have been 6 years old. Now, subtract that, and that'll tell you how many years it was. Mom, what'd you come up with?
Wait, what was the question?
72, is that right? Or 71. 72 from 88. 16 years. I wasn't in church every Sunday. And I probably wasn't in church a total of 20 times between that time period. Probably wasn't. Not counting the funerals, probably wasn't. And when I finally became comfortable with myself, we just read this passage in Ephesians a couple of weeks ago. I was at First Southern Baptist Church, and we were there with Power Team USA, those guys that pick up thousands of pounds, bend bars around their necks, rip telephone books in half. Before my arthritis got bad, fellas,
You can think what you want.
rip a telephone book in half.
I'll use.
Now,
Okay, Bar, I bet you can rip a phone book.
I don't even imagine that, like people picking up thousands of pounds.
book. I might can still do it. My friend Danny Hodge can still squeeze an apple at 80 plus years old, almost 90, and turn it into applesauce, spray it in your face. He used to break.
Only if you could do that with
He used to
lemon.
break pliers, break a bolt out of some pliers. I could do that when I was your age.
I could probably
Sure
do it.
could. Now, all those things didn't make me strong. All the fighting I got in didn't make me strong. What made me strong was Jesus Christ.
Good work.
And the dude's looking at us and you go, I know I'm strong. And he took a fully closed Mountain Dew and ripped the can open, twisted it between his hands, just like this, and Mountain Dew went everywhere. And he goes, I'm going to ask you adults to do one thing. How many of y'all are willing to give up your Christianity so that one of these here might be saved? And my friend Clifford Mace sitting right there beside me, and he goes, we both raised our hands. Davies Vanpool and his wife raised their hands. No one else in that church raised their hands that was willing to give their Christianity so that one of the kids could find out. I'd given it if one would find out. That night, when the altar call came, and when Power Team USA comes, you better have a whole bunch of people there, because there's going to be some kids make some decisions. Whether it's a rededication or whether it's a first-time deal, somebody's going to accept Jesus. I had 20 kids line up to talk to me that night. There were probably 120 in the whole bunch. My friend Clifford had 10 with him.
Clifford?
Davies had probably 15 with him.
The big red dog.
4 of us had the bulk of the people in our line that made a decision. They didn't see us. They weren't in there in the pre-meeting that the adults had with them to see that. Kids went that direction. Not because I'm a great leader, not because I'm a great motivator, not because I'm Mr. Superhuman guy that'll wear a dress for you if you make a stupid bet with me. I'm a guy that's comfortable enough with who I am that ain't nothing going to prevent me from being with Jesus. Ain't nothing going to prevent me from what He wants happening.
Amen. Yes, sir.
Nothing.
Yep.
Not anything. And devil, you can try, but if I have to charge hell with a cup of ice water, you are going to lose. Because I don't play that game.
Don't go down that road.
Look me in the eyes, because I don't play that game. I don't want you messing with my people. I don't want you messing with our church. I don't want you messing around in our town. Used to, he'd sneak around the outside edges of Guthrie back before World War II. Then he comes sneaking up the alleys. Well, now he just parades right up the street like it's 89ers Day Parade, and I don't like it. I don't like it. We start seeking the truth, and all of us start seeking it and using it for everything it's worth, the devil will leave.
Amen.
He won't want nothing to do with us. And it's not just happening in Guthrie. It happens in Crescent, it happens in Coyle, it happens in Mahwah, it happens in Orlando. And it's not just Logan County, because it happens everywhere in our state. It happens in every state in the union. And it's happening internationally. And we can blame it on Obama. We can blame it on Dianne Feinstein. You can blame it on, heck, you can blame it on the Republicans. You can blame, there are people out there that blame the state of this nation on Ronald Reagan. I can go back farther than that and blame it on John Kennedy. But you know who's really the fault? Me. Because I wasn't teaching the truth quick enough. I wasn't following the truth quick enough to keep us out of this bind. Now, one thing that I can say about my little niece Blessing is if they don't change the rules pretty quick, she's going to be in No Child Left Behind, and she's going to have to go through some classes where she's stuck with the other kids and going to get made fun of. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. But it happened because in the 1960s, the Kennedys had a sister that was handicapped, and they wanted her to be with everybody else. You should have the choice. My niece Ashley should have the choice whether she wants her to be with all the other kids or be in the special classes. That should be up to her. Now, I can tell you this, that anything my niece wants to do, she can do. Yeah, she don't walk a lot of steps, but she can move around that house. She can do some. I never have told her she can't do anything in her life, and so she does. I don't call her handicapped because she's got muscular dystrophy. I tell her, you got some challenges. We're going to overcome these. And the truth is, I'd fight over fight for her and do all the stuff for her and carry the load. But God has taken her farther than I can. If I carry her all the way, she's still handicapped. And every one of us, deep within us, has something we can't do. Now, I ain't very good at motor mechanics, but I know the guys that are. I'm not a bricklayer, so I gotta have bricklayers. I've taught people to weld. Now that I can't see to weld, I can get them to weld for me. You know, all of us have something, and most of us ain't comfortable with going, well, I can't weld. I just won't do that. And this just will stay undone till it caves in on my head. Truth is, we got to call on our friends that know the truth, that are seeking the truth too, and depend on them to help us. And what I was never comfortable with in my life was asking for help. I'd bull my way through it and get it done however I could.
The only help you really need is from God, though.
You're absolutely right, because what He does is put the people in your life that can do it. And you got to be comfortable to let them do. Now, I seen two girls sitting right back there looking at each other and go, did you just hear that? Were you listening? Now, think about what I tell you guys about communication. What do I say has to happen? Well, if you communicate, you heard what the other one said and you brought an action forth. Now, I'm not the best communicator in the world because my wife and I argue sometimes. Did you not hear me when I said that? No, I didn't listen. The difference in the hearing and listening. If I didn't want to do what it was that she asked, I'm not going to do it. Now, there's a difference between I'm not going to do it and honey-do list. You may still have the honey-do list in 6 months. That makes sense back there, Stan, when we get it. I still got the list. I haven't got to this yet. I do the same thing. John does the same thing. But guys, we can't do a honey-do list for God. Because if we do, the devil will never let us get it done. That's the truth. That's the truth. And we can go back there to see the state of our nation. And I'll just flip open to Revelations here. Oh, yeah. Oh, me, oh, mine. Oh, crawfish pie. Yeah, you got it. You got it, Brandon. All right. Dear friends in the churches of Turkey, you may have grace and peace from God who is and was to come, and the sevenfold Spirit before the throne from Jesus Christ. He is arriving. Now they're just talking to the churches in Turkey. You think they're talking to churches anywhere else? Let's write a letter to the leader of the church of Ephesus. That would be Ephesians. And them guys weren't perfect. Paul had to go back and have a little chat with them. Think about this. The Apostle Paul does the bulk of his good work from inside the prison.
Oh, gosh.
I don't know what I just leaned forward and caused her to squeal, but I did.
It's done that about 3 times,
I'll
Caleb.
lean back. Guys, we need to realize that wherever God puts us, that's why we're there. Now, this church will grow and we'll outgrow our building. Not only will we outgrow our building, we'll have to find a new place to go. And I'll tell you what I'm going to see. I'm still going to see John, still going to see Stan, still going to see a lot of these kids. And y'all are going to be teaching.
Woo! Yay!
Brandon, you're going to have folks leading music.
He could be a preacher.
Now, he probably could. He probably could when God tells me he's ready, he can take over this youth group in a second.
I don't think I could do that.
I bet you could, dude.
Now, here's something else. Over there, Mr. I bet you could, Dalton. Dalton told me something at church camp that I'm going to share. Okay, if I share this? I want to start my own Bible study. How many of you kids would like to come to this Bible study?
Dalton invited me to that to help him.
Well, he was going to be like the second person, like the
There you
helper,
go.
because he knows more about the Bible than I do. He's more book smart than I am.
Oh, okay. Now, Dalton said something very important back there because he's more book smart than I am. Now, I want to tell you about another feller, because we're working on ad-lib. Tell you about another feller that goes, you know, I'm not sure I want to be the leader of this deal. And he's standing there, his name's Moses, and a burning bush is talking to him, and it's the voice of God going, I want you to lead your people. Dalton, I want you to lead your people. Okay. Now, here's what also we need to know. Here's what also we need to know. That God said, I'll get you a guy that can speak. How about your brother? We'll get him to speak. Now you want to lead? Well, I'm not sure if everyone do. Every time he hooked up old Pharaoh, he heaped some stuff on Pharaoh till Pharaoh finally goes, get your people out of here. Now. And we got to stand up like that. Each one of us got to stand up like that. And we're all going to have some excuse why we can't do what we're going to do. I'll never forget an excuse I got from one of my dearest friends in the world, Alberto Segura. I'm sitting there one day in between his wife and in between Wild Bill's wife, and got my eyes closed. I'm sitting there, and all of a sudden God says, you're going on a mission trip to Mexico. Go ahead and tell Alberto and Mary about it.
I want to do that.
Alberto goes, I ain't going back there. You realize they sent me back there 3 times, and I'm not going back there, but guess what? Some of the best work he's done was right there. Now, before we got him to go, we had to do some mission work in our own town. We had to do some mission work in our own state. And then when he's comfortable with doing mission work, I'm like, how about now? Well, there's some needs down there. We need to go down there and see what they are. Drove right in, found the needs, drove right out, and then we filled them. And that's what God wants us to do. Get comfortable with yourself so you can get outside the box and do what He wants you to do.
We're at 50 minutes.
Huh?
We're at 50 minutes.
Okay. And then we'll do an hour. So we're just about ready to close. Getting comfortable with yourself means that you will learn to like you so other people can like you. Hey, if Dalton doesn't like Dalton, is there any reason for anybody else to like Dalton?
Probably not.
I just use Dalton as a.
I like you, Dalton. Hey.
But know that you got some brothers. Now, also remember, you ran into some guys that you saw last year at camp.
Yeah.
And you made some new friends at camp this year, and you guys believe in you.
Hey, Peter.
Hey, Peter.
Now, the one cool thing that I love about church camp, and I go for a couple of reasons. I don't just go for the kids and all the fun they get to have, because I can't do all the stuff they can do.
Sure you can. You're a
Oh.
ninja.
I'm ninja that way.
Dude, he's
I'm gonna
what's it
tell you
called?
what, Brandon.
Beverly Hills Ninja.
No, that's me.
Yeah,
He would talk like every 5 minutes on the announcer stand. Hollywood Ninja.
He's Hollywood Ninja.
I went through Hollywood Ninja, Machete Dave. No, I'm
Tupperware.
Brandon's been Hollywood Ninja and Machete Dave. And I've always kind of felt ninja, even though I don't have all these great ninja-like skills.
I saw you parkouring over there.
Hang on. Hear me out on this. I don't have to have all the ninja-like skills, because here's the thing. Being the leader of this group of people, I don't have to have all the ninja-like skills. Now, the ninja-like skills that Walt has, he's going to use them. The ninja-like skills that Derek has, he's going to use them. The ninja-like skills that you've learned, the ones that Robert's learned, y'all are going to use them. Now, your ninja-like skills right now have been memorizing the book of James and playing instruments. And everybody,
I don't think ninjas do that.
well, ninjas don't, but you got that ninja-like skill. You're working hard at it to be the best at it. Ain't that what ninjas do? Work hard at stuff to be the best at it so they can do what they do? We need to be more ninja-like for Christ.
Christ.
Some
We
of
would
us aren't
get
doing
beaten
that.
though.
Most aren't doing that. Some of us don't want to be. Some of us don't want to be ninjas. I'm fine sitting over here by myself. Nobody's bothering me. Jesse, you missed me, Jesse. Jesse, over here. I'm flying over there by myself.
Jesse,
No,
I'll be your friend.
that's so much ninja like.
You can be naked ginger number
Use
2.
whatever skill you got. Hey, whichever one it is you got,
He always sweets and ninjas. Batman.
whichever skill that is, just be good at it. See, he fits in with us already because all of us like to wear Batman shirts too. I don't have a Batman shirt, by the way.
I don't either. I haven't
Yeah,
worn a
most
Batman shirt since I was like
I would
7.
wear a Batman shirt.
I only wear
Jake will share
Batman
his
shirts
with you.
Yeah. Huh?
Jake will share his with you.
Now,
It may fit on an arm, maybe.
because I like the Joker.
His toes.
here's something. Here's something that I'm gonna say. Batman was smart.
He's a detective.
Batman was he was good at he said that about right, Brandon. He was a good detective. And in all of his detective work, and out of all the Batman shows that I've seen, in the first series that came from back in the 60s, I love that. Oh, I see Walt smiling, we watched that too. Pow, and Zow, and Zit, and Kapow, and all of those
On those
things.
things that came out before
I'm like the only
VCR.
cowboy who reads comics.
What are those called?
So
Here's the cool thing. Here's the cool thing about what original Batman used to say.
Yeah.
If everybody would use their power for good and not evil, this would be a better place. Now, he was smart. Now, do I think that Batman knew Jesus?
sure he did.
That proves that Batman knew Jesus. That proves that Batman knew Jesus because he wanted us to use our good for good. And what happened, I don't care how many times you watch Batman, how many Batman new movies they make, the Joker is always going to end up in jail because he's stupid.
But the Joker
Yeah.
is awesome.
Here's what I'm going to say
No, he's
in
not. He's the devil.
No.
Everything's
defense
devil.
of the Joker.
I'm a water boy.
If you do stupid stuff, you need to go to a stupid place.
But
the
Unless you're the real where no one can catch you.
Yeah, now, that's as far as I can defend the Joker because I'm always going to take shortcuts. Now, as Christians, if we're using God's Word, we don't have to take shortcuts. Like I've said before, you can open up 10 different Bibles, find 10 different horse colors when you look at the 4 horses of the apocalypse. Doesn't make any difference what color that horse is. The difference it makes is knowing what that guy is going to do when he comes out. And knowing why he's going to do it. And they aren't all led by God, are they, John? Not hardly. And in the position that our world is getting to, if we don't get comfortable with ourselves pretty quick and start making a difference, there ain't going to be nothing left for us to make a difference for. We got to make a difference with the little kids. We got to make a difference with these kids. Got to make a difference with you guys so y'all can go out and share the truth. I don't know everybody that Rhonda knows. Don't know everybody that Jennifer knows. Don't know everybody that Walt knows. Tell them the truth and they'll come. I don't know everybody Leslie knows. She's my mother-in-law, but I don't know everybody she knows. Later this evening, I'm going to go introduce her to some friends of mine. Now, whether she just chooses to hang out with them, it's her deal. Am I going to be comfortable there? Not super comfortable because those guys ride bikes. I'm not talking about bicycles, I'm talking about motorcycles. I can't even ride a bicycle. I'm comfortable with that. I never wanted to ride a bicycle. I wanted to ride horses. I wanted to be Gene Autry and jump off the barn and land on my horse. it hurts when you don't do it right, and you gotta know the truth. Dude, you gotta know the truth. Now, do I think that there's probably some fabulous bean footage of Gene Autry and Roy Rogers and Tex Ritter where all their stunts, they didn't land them? Yeah.
There's plenty.
Because one of the greatest stuntmen of all time was a guy named Yakima Canutt. And he goes face first off the side of a 40-mile-an-hour train into a saguaro cactus.
Oh.
Yeah, that doesn't sound very
Oh
pleasant.
my
I'm not
gosh.
gonna lie, I think that was someone like, that sounds like something I
Your
would do
niece
if I lost a
landed in
bet.
cactus one
Sounds
time
like
for
a
her
bet
house bill.
lost.
My niece did that trick
Sounds like
with
a bet
a
lost.
pad cactus.
If I won't let people hug me, I'm sure I won't let a cactus hug me.
Now, and it's real footage.
You can ask Ashley.
You can look it up on the internet. It is real footage of you seeing this guy go into the cactus
Amen.
off of a speeding train. And it wasn't a freak accident, it was planned.
Really?
It sounds like a freak accident.
I'll
Looks like
never
American
forget,
Dad.
and we were talking about, earlier we were talking about, and we'll close on this. Earlier, John, you mentioned Steve McQueen and the Magnificent Seven. I met a guy once. I'm saying what Steve said. I met a guy once, and he said, I was gonna get naked and jump into a cactus.
What?
That is the stupidest.
Was
Why?
he drunk or something?
No. How'd that work out for
He's
you?
high on life.
Hey, I'm gonna get a...
Not quite like
I'm gonna get naked and jump into a cactus.
Not quite.
He's got some time.
Steve says, how'd that work out for you? Not quite like I planned.
How
Guys,
did he
if you don't
plan
know
this
the
to go
truth,
down?
I promise you.
What did you plan? Hey, I'm gonna get naked and jump into a cactus, guys. How would you possibly expect that to go down?
Let me
Not well.
finish on this.
Obviously.
If you don't have Christ in your life and you're not using all of the truth, you're jumping naked into a cactus.
Boom.
Basically, you're jumping naked into a cactus. Now, how many people ever thought they'd hear that in a sermon? Probably none. But if you don't seek the truth, actively seek the truth, and work on it and work on yourself, because Brandon can't just look in the newspaper and go, hey, this baseball team's hiring a pitcher, I'll go be it. Those pitchers work on those pitches to develop them all of their lives. And we got to develop the truth just like we were a professional pitcher on the baseball team.
Now I might.
You got to practice it. You got to keep throwing. You got to practice it. You got to have some batters up there hitting at it. You got to have somebody back there catching it. You got to practice it for it to become real. I didn't just learn this stuff because my grandma, when I was 5 years old, said, he's going to be a preacher, and I'd go behind her. You got the wrong guy.
How'd that work
Not
out,
me.
Kelly?
How'd that work out for me? Well, after, check this out, Brandon.
So far, you're wearing makeup with ears
After-
speaking into a mic, so.
After 1996, it worked out for me pretty good because I'd been practicing this. I promise you, if I'd have started in 1983, if I'd have started 13 years earlier, I would have failed. I would have fallen flat on my face because I had no life skills to back up what God was teaching me. And I didn't just learn it because I got face planted on the sidewalk out there. And have I been face planted on that sidewalk out there? Yeah.
Or in some
Because
cases,
I haven't
my horse
yet.
across the wet street, his feet went out from under him, and I face planted right up there about a block away from my sister's house. Now, she didn't live there at the time, but right in front of the temple.
I don't know, but some people get face
With
planted
all
on
my
cactus.
friends laughing at me going, aren't you Gene Autry? Didn't you just fall off your horse? Yeah. And how many of y'all got anything to say about that? Because ain't none of y'all could trot your horse across there without doing any better.
Not without special cleats.
Oh, nothing. Now, guys, I will prove to my kids every day, and I'll keep trying because I'm going to.
If you ain't quit it.
They got me out there on a hopping course. It's about, wasn't they about, Brittany, wasn't they about this long, big giant balloon horse things that we had to hop
Oh
with?
yeah, I remember that. I never got
In
on
Yeah, I
the
was
dark.
not participating in that.
Now,
Which one?
The like balloon cylinder.
I saw Zach
The, like,
struggle with
the
that, and he
spinach
has
candles
giraffe
that-
legs. I
Zach-
ain't gonna get on that.
Zach-
Oh, I had to try it. They made me try
Zach
it.
was in the same race that I was. On behalf of me and Zach, I expected Zach to win, but guess what?
His
I
giraffe
did
legs.
not come in last.
I did that and I just stood up and
I don't know. I'm
waddled
old
with it.
enough to look like a
I know,
sponsor,
you
so I just sat
cheated.
down with
You
Miss Sherry.
cheated.
and
I didn't
have
want
to
to
do it.
bounce.
So
Let's bounce.
Upset,
Brandon, you
upset.
missed the key
Okay.
part of that, where they
You
said
upset my tummy.
sponsors will participate.
I don't know. Mr. Sherry did.
It
This-
said sponsors had to participate.
I
That's why.
participated.
I did
Now,
not.
I also participated in the wild bronc races, where our broncs were a little shorter this time, and got kicked in the face.
Oh, dang. Oh,
I'll do
yeah.
that
I
for
got
you
kicked
guys
twice.
every
I
time.
know.
I really worried for
You
Sierra
just
when
get
she
tore up.
hurt
I
her.
know.
heel.
Everywhere I
here
went,
is
dude, I
the
was
truth.
getting cut, kicked.
Guys, here is the truth. I will take those hits for you every time, but if I take all of them for you and you don't learn the truth,
Then we'll get keep
you
going.
gotta go back through it again. Jennifer, I'll take some hits for you, but if I take them all and you don't learn, then you gotta go right back and go right back through it again. I'd gladly take them all for y'all. Robert, I'd take all the hits for you. But dude, you're gonna have to go back through some of them if I do. So seek the truth and be comfortable with yourself. Ain't this what you asked me to do?
Hold on, hold on.
He's gotta back it up. There you
I
go.
have to.
Are you ready?
Nope.
Tell me when you're ready.
Pose.
Because I really can't do this pose for